Hey guys, I wanted to shed light on the importance of treating the underlying imbalances in your body as a very, what's the word, powerful treatment in OCD. So people just think, oh yeah, this is the way I am, but not necessarily, because sometimes there's an underlying food sensitivity or physical problem that we're not addressing. Now, I can speak from personal experience because I used to have pretty severe OCD for years, right? As a kid, growing up, I also had really bad foot and back pain, unexplained. I would just walk around feeling like an old lady, like I was 96. Horrible brain fog, couldn't focus when people were talking to me, spaced off frequently, absorbed by thoughts. And I didn't realize until about 2 years ago that I had undiagnosed celiac disease. So celiac disease is when your gut recognizes gluten as a threat to your immune system or your body. So it actually sets off a reaction where you're basically the villi in your intestine, those little thin hairs that absorb nutrients that give it to the rest of your body, sees gluten, which is found in bread, gluten's in a lot of things like bread, pastas, baked goods, wheat, soy sauce has it. It's a protein. And the body recognizes this as a threat to the system, even though it doesn't have a threat. It could be a genetic, you need to have the genes to have it. But so basically it doesn't only affect your gut, but your mind as well. And so it triggers this autoimmune condition that attacks your gut, which then affects your mental health. And all right, I kind of trailed off a bit. So going back to how I found out I had celiac disease. So I had these symptoms for years where my gut, it wasn't so much the GI issues, like I had some of that, but it was more, right, like I said, mental. So brain fog, joint and back pain. I felt like my feet were on fire. I was tired all the time. I had zero energy. And it wasn't until 2 years ago that I got tested for celiac and I found out that I had it, and that neurological symptoms are part of celiac disease. So your neurological symptoms could be a part of an imbalance, like maybe it's a food sensitivity. And again, this doesn't apply to all people, but I will say that it is worth getting checked out for food sensitivities. So if you are having like accompanying physical symptoms, if you're having GI issues, it might be worth checking out to see if you have an underlying celiac disease or food sensitivity. So I got tested through blood work and an endoscopy. Now, I'm not saying that you all need to go rush and do this because, it's you might have something else going on. But if you wanted to do a elimination diet to find out if foods are making your brain, your mental health worse, there's information on cutting out the main offenders, like which are inflammatory. So gluten is up there. I'll tell you the ones that affected me. Gluten was big. I noticed that once I went off of gluten, a lot of my OCD severity went down. Dairy. Sugar is also another thing that I avoid. Caffeine. You can also get checked. So if you want to get a doctor to see if you have celiac, you can order a panel that will test for the antibodies. And if that comes back positive, they might give you send you off for an endoscopy, which is where that's pretty much the gold standard, where they look at your intestine and see if there's blunting, which is the villi that absorbs nutrients is blunted. And then you can see how you feel without gluten. So it is a big adjustment. I don't recommend going gluten-free unless you notice that you're benefiting from it. Because, again, like I said, not everyone has celiac disease. But it could be worth trialing maybe a week or two, cutting out gluten, dairy, and sugar, and see how you feel off of it. And if you find that you feel better, it might be worth eliminating. So try it out. Let me know how you feel, and if there's certain foods that I didn't list that have made your OCD worse, and if you feel better not eating them. Talk to you soon.